The transformation over the years has been dramatic, but there are still some who reminisce over the Lagos of old. Those who still have fond memories of growing up in Lagos in the early 20th century. My guest is one such lady, full of elegance and grace. She shares her memories of the lifestyle in Lagos yesterday and today. We shall also be getting some beauty tips from her. Here she is, Mrs. Ibidunni Lawson. My name is Edakwili and I am discussing with Mrs. Lawson today, but I will allow her to tell us her name, even though I have already done it. I want to hear from her mouth. Mrs. Lawson, please let me know your full name.
I am Mrs. Ibidunni Olabende Lawson.
Nee Thompson.
Nee Thompson.
It's so nice meeting you today, Mommy.
Yeah.
I want to know, what was your growing up like? Where did you grow up?
Oh, I was born and bred in Lagos, Tinubu area, where you have the fountain, that Victoria Street then, we call it Victoria Street, which is now Nnamdi Azikiwe, very close to the fountain, the new fountain.
Yes.
Then it was the Supreme Court of Nigeria there.
And we are talking about
1926.
1926. So you grew up, your mom or your dad?
Yes, I grew up in Lagos.
With a family of how many were you? Children, you were how many?
3 of us.
3.
Then the first one came, 4 of us.
Are you the first child?
I'm the first child of my father.
Okay, now let's tell us about you. What was your education, the early education? Where did you school?
Yes, I attended Baptist Academy, Lagos. Not the Baptist Academy at Ikorodu Road.
Okay.
It originated in Lagos. And at that time we had the missionaries, in the school as principals and teachers. And we have Nigerian teachers too. And Baptist Academy was really one of the best.
You had to go to one of the best.
In Lagos, one of the old schools in Lagos, on Broad Street, very close to the General Hospital, this present General Hospital. That's where you have the Baptist Academy and you have the Baptist Church. You will see the Baptist Church still standing there, but the school was moved later on. With civilization, probably they were looking for grounds to expand the school, so they moved to Ikorodu Road.
Oh, okay. So let's fast forward a little. So I like love stories.
That's interesting.
Let's move on to how you met the man of your life.
The
one and only Mr.
Chief Adeyemi Olushola
Lawson. We'll talk more about him later, but let's just get into that love story. How did you meet?
So it's very interesting because in those days, or at that time when I met him, I was planning to go to England because that was the norm then, you like to further your studies in Europe. And I told my dad I wanted to do nursing. And I really got admission into Sheffield Hospital, Children's Hospital. I was planning to go when he came over. Then, the story changed.
How did you meet? Did he see you on the road or he came into your house?
It's so interesting. He saw me on the road, very close to our house on Victoria Street. I was standing there, a young girl, just standing. I was 22. Just 21, going 22. I was standing by the road, and that was the fashion in the old days. If you want to see what's going on, you stand on the road and sit, especially Victoria Street, which was very popular. I was standing there. I didn't know what I was doing, but he said he saw a girl standing, and he was parking his car on the road because in those days there weren't many roads big enough for cars to move.
Okay.
You have to park on the main road and then go to wherever you want to go. So he was going to Scale Square, we call it. And he saw Scale Square, we call it. The road, there's a road there. Scale Square. And he parked his car on the road. He was just coming from the Supreme Court. He was a young lawyer.
Okay.
Just, you know, I think he came, it was the year he came back from England. He said he saw this lady standing there. You can't believe it. And something told him, that's your wife. And he marveled. He said, my wife. You know, probably he had that gift. Anyway, later on, you know, he has that gift. So he said, my wife. And he was going somewhere with some people in the car. And he said, who is that girl standing? And one of them knew me. He said, oh, that's Miss Thompson. And he kept quiet. He didn't tell them anything. And he went to where he was going. Apparently he was going to my friend's house, who was living there with her husband. And Chief was going to see my friend's brother's brother, my friend's husband's brother. So immediately he got to that house. He said he called the name. She was Mrs. Martins. He said, Bosse, do you know that girl called Miss Thompson? And they said, yes, she was my classmate. We were in school together. He said, please come and introduce me to, to her. And before she came a day before. I said, please, Ibidunni, I want to bring a man to see you. I want to introduce a man to you. And I said, who is he? He said, I said, young lawyer, they just come back from England. He said, lawyer? Don't bring lawyer into my house. In those days, we young ones said, lawyers are liars. But anytime they finished in the court, he would go to Bossede's house and say, please, you are not doing anything, just introduce us. So Bossede said, please, just allow me to bring him. So I said, all right, I've really made up my mind, you know, what I would tell him. And he came, and Bossede said, Miss Thompson, meet Mr. Lawson, and she disappeared. And that was how everything.
Wow, and from that time on.
From that time, rejection upon rejection, and he wouldn't have it. And he said when he got home, he was still thinking of that girl. And in the night, he could not sleep.
Oh, he had no rest.
He had no rest. He said he could not sleep. He said he has to follow it up. He has to follow it up. And so this is the story.
You never regretted
it. I tried, but as things would have it, we were really meant for each other.
Wonderful. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
I remember that anytime I put on weight, even at the age of 18, I would diet. You know, it was just me.
Quite early.
Quite early at 18. Because in those days, you know, you like to be like the English people because it was the colonial days.
It's the end of the show.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is a Dakwele show, and I'm speaking with the elegant Mrs. Lawson, Mommy, as we are fondly called. Now, you are 90 years, going to 91. Let us know the secret of your beauty.
Oh,
You've stayed beautiful for a long time. We'll talk
my beauty.
But let's talk beauty first.
That's interesting. You know, all gifts and all beauty, as you call it, or anything I may claim, everything comes from the Almighty, from above. You know, I didn't do anything to it. I didn't add anything to my features. You know, it was the way I was.
But there must be some lifestyle that you are living, some foods that you eat that kind of
probably I was guided to taking care of myself.
Quite
I would say guidance.
Okay.
Because I remember that anytime I put on weight, even at the age of 18, I would diet. You know, it was just me.
Quite early.
Quite early as 18. Because in those days, you know, you like to be like the English people because it was the colonial days. You want to be slim.
Mommy, we still want to be slim now. It's not in those days.
In those days, really.
Mommy, we were talking about 1940s here. You were already dieting, fasting.
Yes.
To take care of yourself.
Yes.
Please tell me more. I'm so interested.
Doing exercises, even at 18, 20.
You
know, because, you know, you are plumpy. You know, at that age, you know, 18, 19, 20, 21, you are, you know, with your tummy out, you know, and you want to be slim, like those in the magazines.
Such an inspiration that no one even told you, do this, do that. You just, by looking at those magazines, you were able to do that for yourself.
Exactly.
Interesting. Wow. Okay, now, Mommy. Some people say they do not really do anything to maintain their health or their beauty. But now, this is your secret. You've been doing this kind of lifestyle since you were like 18 years.
Exactly.
So that is your secret. You've maintained the beauty,
the consciousness of taking care of yourself.
Yes, that the Lord gave you. You didn't just say, okay, I'm beautiful, you let it be. You took care of yourself. You
take care of what the Lord gave you.
Okay.
You know.
So now that you are at this time of your life, do you do anything different, or you're still doing those things that you were doing before?
I'm really conscious of what I eat. That's the thing. Yeah. Anything I eat that gives me, you know, tummy ache or, you know, I refrain from it. You know, I know it's not good for me.
How about exercise?
Oh, I do some, not much. At least not much.
You still exercise?
Yes, I have a physiotherapist who comes in every week.
Oh.
Once a week.
Mommy's really
if she doesn't come, I'll be lazy to do my exercise. Okay. But because she comes regularly, we do exercises, we do the massaging first, and then exercise. She will just be looking at me. She'll be counting, you know, and I'll do this. I'm so
inspired to take care of myself by just listening to you.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I do that regularly.
Mommy, you were born in the 1920s. Is there anything that we are doing now that would shock you that, oh, when I was young, this could never happen?
Yes, a lot is going on in the world today, which we didn't know of. You know, the way the young ones behave, the way they dress, the way they speak, without any scruple. You know, the way they do things. In our days, we have role models like Lady Abayomi, Lady Bankantoni, Lady Alakija, and we all look forward to be like them. You know, those were ladies, because they were trained. Most of the people I mentioned had gone for training in England.
Like finishing school?
Finishing school, even attending, because their parents had the money. They were sent to England at the young age. And when they came, they tried to be role models for we that followed them. And if you want to learn, you know, you follow them. You know, they try to really change things. They try to show us the way to behave, the way to speak, even the way to walk.
Mommy, now take us more. People want to know more about the family values, how we can make it better. Like you rightly noticed, a lot of things have gone wrong now. It wasn't like this before. And we don't have such role models, people role modeling for us now. So how can it be better? How can we make it a little better?
Oh, that's a tall question, really. I would say everything began not just now, you know, gradually things set in, you know. I would say a lot of things brought into the country by aliens. Let's say by our predecessors, like the British people, you know, the colonial days. When they were here, we tried to copy them. We tried to copy everything they were doing, you know, and some of our girls, probably without any guidance, you know, they follow the bad behavior of some aliens. I won't say any country, you know, from any country, but from aliens, things that were strange to us. A lot of things were introduced to us. And where there is no guidance from parents, you know, the children just go haywire, they follow them. They follow, especially with the television coming in the country now, you see all sorts of things that did not happen in our days, could not happen in our days. And then some people or some children without any guidance, they think that was the proper way or that's the proper way to do things. And they follow, unless they are being guided with them, you know, let them read good books, let them watch good television, not bad ones. Let them, when they dress and you are not pleased as a mother, you have to be strict with them. Tell them to go and change, and they are not going out until they change. And you have to insist that they change. And when they know that their parents will not take it, they won't do it. And they'll grow up, you know, being real ladies, real ideal ladies.
That's beautiful,
Yeah.
fantastic. Let's take a break, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Even when he passed on and they said they couldn't, there was nothing they could do, when they said they tried to wake him up, I was telling him to get up.
Yeah.
You have to get up. You know, I was going every corner of the room, please get up, please get up.
It's the end of the show.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Ibidunni Show, and I'm with Mrs. Lawson, the wonderful Mrs. Lawson. Now, what is your typical day like? What time do you wake up? And what time do you go to bed?
Oh,
Because I know that you still drive at 91, you're still driving your car. What's
yes, but not to go far.
Yeah, okay.
I don't go far.
Okay.
I drive in the vicinity of Greyland
Okay.
and inside Greyland.
Okay.
And when I'm gifted with my legs, with my eyes, with both hands, yes, I could do what I'm capable of doing, because at night I can't do much. You know, let's say lifting things, or, you know, I still travel alone.
I see you at the airport, you do your own thing.
I do my own things. I carry my luggage.
Yes.
If there's nobody helping me, I will draw it.
Yeah. See you do
But
that.
try and don't spoil yourself. You know, do things, be active. When you are active, your body is used to moving. You know, as you know, motion is the law in creation. You need to move.
Mommy, I need to hang out more with you to get all this knowledge that you have.
I will drag you. If you are slow behind, I'll drag you.
Mommy, I know you've had a wonderful life. Telling me about that, your childhood, and how you married this wonderful man. From there, tell us more.
My husband and I, we are meant to be together in this creation. We had a wonderful life, and he was a good man, and he was gifted. He was gifted. He was, you know, he was once chairman of city council, which is like governor of Lagos.
So you were first lady.
Yes, yeah, I was.
First lady in your time.
We went around the world. He took me to places, and we had a wonderful, wonderful life together until the end came.
How did you handle that?
when
When he passed.
when he passed.
Being such a wonderful person.
You know, we have been in the
And you were
Grail
young.
message.
You were young.
I wasn't young. I wasn't young. We are living on Greenland.
Okay.
I was 67
Oh.
and he was 69
Oh.
plus, almost 70. Only 3 months before he would be 70.
Okay.
He died in March. He would have been 70 in May. So we had a wonderful.
It didn't shake you. His passing
Oh,
didn't shake you.
wouldn't it shake me? You know?
I know you've had a wonderful life. Like I said,
Even when he passed on and they said they couldn't, there was nothing they could do. When they said they tried to wake him up, I was telling him to get up.
yeah.
You have to get up. You know, I was going every corner of the room, please get up, please get up. What am I going to tell them in Lagos because it is happening in America?
Okay.
Yeah, and it happened. And then as we know it with the message, we are knowing ones. We know it, we don't cry when somebody is departing.
So you didn't cry?
I did not cry.
Where did you take that kind of strength, courage?
I did not, with the message, with the Grail message. I did not cry, but I wasn't in flesh. Just as if I was floating, you know, with my brain all gone, you know. So we had to leave the hospital. Before I left the hospital, I knelt in front of the corpse, and I was, I was thanking him for giving me a good life.
Oh.
I was thanking him for all the places he's taken me to. I was telling the others, the Europeans standing, he was doing this for me, he did this for me, he did this for me. You know, and then with the message, you'll be strong, the strength will come. Because I wanted to give good example to others. You know, you must not cry.
Amazing. Wonderful woman. Thank you so much, Mommy. I really appreciate this interview.
Yes, it's a pleasure.
Thank you so
It's a pleasure having you.
You stay with us, we'll be right back.
It's the end of the show. Oh.